Hey y'all. Good morning. Well, good afternoon. I'm about to head into work. I have a closing shift. It's also Monday. Welcome to the new vlog. I was on a really good track last week with vlogging, and then the depression took over. And I kind of fell off the wayside towards the end of the vlog. So we are gonna try and do better this week. Sorry about the lighting where I parked. It's not good. I am still reading Legendary by Stephanie Garber. I am 73 pages in because I didn't read anything yesterday. And I'm still really enjoying it. I'm having a really good time. I think that I'll probably be able to finish it tonight or tomorrow, depending on how much I read tonight. Tomorrow I have off. Thank goodness, because I think I'm dying. I really feel like I'm dying. Anyway, when I finish, I just dropped it. But when I finish Legendary, I'll be moving on to The Lotus Empire. I think that's what it's called. Hold on. The third book in the Jasmine Throne series. Yes, The Lotus Empire, which I am so excited to read and finish because that series I think is going to be one of my all-time favorite fantasy series. If you haven't read it, you should. You should read it. Pick it up immediately. But anyway, that does mean, because this one is the sequel and The Lotus Empire is the third book in a series, I can't talk too much about like the plot of things that are happening because it would spoil it. So just bear with me as I try and talk about it the best that I can. As for Legendary, this is the sequel to Caraval. So in Caraval, it was Scarlett's story. Scarlett is Donatella's sister, and they went to Caraval because Scarlett had to save Tella because Tella had been kidnapped. And this second one is Tella's story, and she is trying to find Legend's true name to get some information that is important to her. I don't think that's spoiling anything, but that's about all I'll say about the plot, to make sure I don't spoil anything. So with that said, I am going to head in to work, and I'll maybe check in later, at least just to tell you what I'm able to read today, because my plan is to be able to focus on my break and on my lunch so that I can read. But yeah, I'll keep you updated. So. What are you doing? Why are you climbing the tree? Hello. It's Wednesday. I didn't check in at all yesterday because I had yesterday off and I took the day to rot. I didn't do anything but eat and watch Criminal Minds. So truly it wasn't that exciting of a day. But it was much needed rest. So I'm going to call it a success. I do have work all day today. And I didn't read at all yesterday, but I had read a little bit Monday. So I'm now on page 127. So I read about 50 pages on Monday. In Legendary, you can't see because of the way the sun is, but I'm really enjoying it, and I've really liked this turn, how the story's like, this turn the story has taken. Especially since I'm pretty sure I've just been introduced to a character that plays a huge role in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. And this particular character has intrigued me based on what I know of that series. And the fact that I want to read that series is why I re-picked up this series, because I want to read this before I read that. So anyway, I'm really enjoying that. Yeah, I don't have much to say other than just doing a quick check-in, and the sun is in a horrible position, so I'm not going to keep talking to you, but we're back at work today. Very exciting stuff. So, anyway. Hers and Hers reading. I'm going to keep reading Legendary. And Charlotte, what are you reading?
Ninth House.
Ninth House. Midnight. Midnight. What are you going to read? Oh my goodness, what was that, Midnight?
Very loud car, I know.
What was that?
I know, the loud car.
Anyway, this is what we're going to do for the rest of the night. It's Friday. I'm off today and we have a busy day. I've already gotten started. It's 9 a.m. and I've officially filed divorce paperwork. We've been separated for over 2 years now, and we were lazy and it was expensive, and so we finally just did that. So that's exciting. But now I think I'm going to go to Barnes & Noble, and I have my notebook, and I'm going to try and outline a little bit of the new idea that's been festering in my brain. And then when I get home, I will try and do like some drafting in my official, like my work in progress that I've already started, because it's been a while since I've written. I've been feeling really shitty about it, but I also have been feeling just like really I don't really want to say unmotivated is the thing that I've been feeling, because I've been certainly beating myself up for not writing, but I just have not had it in me. Like, I'm barely surviving, you know what I mean? So, but today we're gonna write, and we're gonna write a lot. So that's my plan. I'm gonna go to Barnes & Noble. I also am picking up, because I've been thinking a lot about this, and the Brandon Sanderson Winds of Truth book 5 of the Stormlight Archive comes out on December 6th. Now, before I started these vlogs, I used to be someone who had like multiple different editions of my favorite books, and so I had both the UK and the US editions of the Stormlight Archive. And then when we moved to where we live now, I unhauled all my duplicates so that I didn't have extra copies, unless it was like a one-off, because 2 copies of one book is much different than 2 copies of a whole series. You know what I mean? So I decided at the time that I liked the look of the UK editions, so I unhauled my US editions, but now I've changed my mind and I want the US edition. So my plan is to slowly repurchase them until Winds of Truth comes out. So I'm going to get the first 2 today. And then I'm going to sell the UK editions probably to half price, or not to half price books, because that's in Texas. We're not in Texas. Probably sell it to like the used book superstore that we go to. So I'll probably get those 2 books while I'm at Barnes & Noble, and then I'll read. My hair is like wild. it's been a morning. It's been a morning already. But yeah, I just wanted to check in, welcome you along to a day of a bunch of riding. So let's get to it. Hey, it's many hours later. It's 5. I went to Barnes & Noble. I got The Way of Kings and Words of Radiance. And then I also picked up 2 writing books. So I got the Storyteller's Workbook, and it's like this, like, it's like an actual workbook with like world building stuff and like character builder guides and like brainstorming options, and then like querying information and like calendars to like plan out your goals and whatnot. And I really struggle with plotting, so I was kind of hoping that this might be a helpful tool for me. And it's written by Adrienne Young and Isabel Ibanez. So 2 best-selling authors. So I thought it would be like just a good tool to have on hand to try plotting and planning and whatnot. And then I also picked up Save the Cat Writes a Novel, the last book on novel writing you'll ever need. And this one also goes over like the 15 like beats that each story has to try and help you plot as well. So I'm hoping that this book will also help me get better at plotting a novel as well. And then I did some actual plotting or planning for the one idea that I have had poking around in my head. So it was a pretty successful morning where that was concerned. And then I came home, I had lunch, and then I took a shower. And now I've been sitting and working on the book that I've already started drafting. What I also did was, I'll see if I can show you. So I started doing like a progress tracker so that I can see where I am, and then tracking how many words are in each chapter that I've written. So the thought process is I can keep track of how the chapters change like as I get into the editing phases and whatnot, and then I can look and see how much I accomplished like when I sit down to work on it. So far, it has been kind of a slow writing, like getting the words out on the page. I think I've written a little bit over 1,000 words today, which is very good. Because I haven't written in a while, so I'm very pleased with that. If that's how I end the day, that's how I end the day. I had a stretch goal. It's okay if I didn't make it, but I did write, and that's the key. That was my goal, was just to sit down and actually do something in both of the projects that I have, and I successfully did that. So we're calling the day a success. I did finish one chapter that I had previously started, and now I'm starting on another chapter. Charlotte just got out of work like 17 minutes ago, and she's on her way home, and then we're gonna go across to our neighbors for a little game night. So I think I might write as much as I can, as much as will come out of my brain until she gets home, and then we're gonna go over there and we're gonna have pizza and we're gonna play games, and it's gonna be really fun. So that's my check-in. Hey, a real quick update before I head into my closing shift. We had a really awesome night last night. We went to our neighbor's house and we just hung out. We were supposed to play games, but we didn't play games. We just yapped. It was a good yapping session. And then this morning I slept so late and it was so lovely. And then I read for about an hour in Legendary by Stephanie Garber. I thought I might have been able to finish it yesterday, but I didn't. But I did do a lot of writing, so I'm gonna let it slide. But now I'm on page 262. My goal is to finish this by tomorrow. It means that I won't have read any of the Lotus Empire, which I also was really hoping to get to, but you know, it is what it is. We can't get everything we want. You know what I mean? But I am about to head into work, and when I tell you, people on the roads are already insane. I get that it's like a week before Black Friday and like holiday shopping is starting, but like, chill out. Nothing is that important to justify driving the way some people are driving. Like, I don't understand. But anyway, I'm gonna head into work now. Wish me luck. I hate closing. It's my least favorite shift. It's Sunday night, checking in for the first time, but look at the lovely made bed with clean sheets that I'm about to crawl into. Hey, it's Sunday night. I didn't mean to not check in earlier. It's like 9:30 at night. Whoops. But I had to work today. I have been doing some reading in Legendary. I'm currently on page 324, and there are, let's see, 415 pages in the book. So I'm like, have less than 100 pages, and I am in bed for the rest of the night. So I think I can finish it tonight. Or at least I really want to, because I'd like to at least get 1 or 2 more books finished before the end of the month. And this month, or this week, the last few months have been really slow reading months for me, and I would really like to turn it around by the end of the year. So the goal, the priority tonight is to finish Legendary. And then I promise I will check in tomorrow just to do a quick wrap up before I start the new vlog and let you know that I finished it and give it a rating. I promise. Not fingers crossed, but I promise. I promise. So I'm gonna get to reading. Hey everyone, it's the end of the vlog, and I'm actually remembering to do a final check-in, mainly because I promised that I would, but I did finish Legendary last night, and I liked this one even more than I liked Caraval. So Caraval, I gave a 4-star rating, and I'm giving this one a 4.5-star rating. This one followed Tella, Scarlett's sister, and Scarlett was the main character of the last book. And essentially in this one, we have another game of Caraval happening, which is unusual because usually it only happens once a year, but this one is happening just a few weeks after Caraval ended in the first book. I loved so many of these elements. I especially loved Tella. I think I like Tella more in this one, even though I'm an older sister, so I feel like I probably should have identified more with Scarlett, but I just really could see Tella's like kind of insecurities and not trusting herself, but also not necessarily trusting everybody else, and like building up these walls around her because of things that she has interpreted one way but maybe could have meant something else. But because of these walls that she had placed around herself, she was closing herself off to potential experiences that she desperately wanted to have. And I kind of saw myself in that. I also really loved like the side characters and of this book in particular. Dante comes back with a more prevalent role in this story, and I loved him. I especially loved Jax, so I'm so excited to read what is it called? Once Upon a Broken Heart. So that was the other series. That's another series that Stephanie Garber put out in kind of the same world. But Jax is a main character in that book. So I'm so excited that I got introduced to him in this one. I also really loved the element of like the fates in that story. And I'm excited to see where things go with that. I'm also really excited to read Finale. To see how it all ends. I'm very tempted to jump just right into Finale, but I'm gonna wait because I have a bunch of other books that I have to read before the end of the year. But I'm not going to sleep on Finale the way that I originally slept on Legendary when I first read Caraval. So this was all I read this week, which is kind of sad. But it is what it is. So, yeah, thanks for watching. That's the end of the vlog, and I'll see you in the next one soon. So, bye.